Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we need to burn our way towards the station here a little bit. And we're getting close enough at this point where I feel like we probably shouldn't attempt to... What am I thinking? Words. Words are difficult. We probably shouldn't attempt to physics warp as we head on in here. I'm going to go in at about... how are we looking? That separation is non-great. Okay. Well, we are, I think, gaining efficiency here. So that's good. We're going to be able to flip around eventually. And this is plenty of time. So that's okay. I want to bring this down, ideally, to something along the lines of half a kilometer. Something like that should be good. Yeah, we're definitely gaining efficiency here. So that's great. 8 kilometers out. 7. And we've got plenty of Delta V to make this happen. This is the final asteroid this particular tug is going to be bringing in. 4 kilometers out as of now. We're starting to lose efficiency, though, I think. Yeah, we're losing efficiency. 3 kilometers is probably good enough. So we're going to flip around to retrograde. And we're going to warp up over this direction. As soon as we get to retrograde, anyway. 34.3 meters per second. Our relative speed is actually going to be 24.4. So that's not too bad. We're just going to go to the periapsis for right now. And let's warp on in as of now. Fantastic. So we're going to kill our relative velocity here in a bit. Where is the actual station at? You know, I don't know. It should be about 3 kilometers away. Ah, there it is. Cool. And it should... Is it getting further away right now? It is. Huh. Okay, well, we're just going to start braking. It should be getting closer until we reach the closest intercept. But okay, I guess this is 3.1 kilometers? That's a little wild. But sure, we're just going to kill our relative speed here. We're now 3 kilometers out, so that did get us quite a lot closer. Always good. About 11 meters per second to go here. Again, I don't feel comfortable physics warping this close to the station. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to kill our relative velocity here, and our electric charge is a bit of an issue. We'd be better off if we were to roll like this, because we could have that. Cool. That's stationary with respect to the station, although because our orbit is still quite different, that's not going to be the case forever. And now we're going to have additional power issues, but that's okay. Our electric charge is ramping up for the moment, and this kind of is what it is to some degree. So we're just going to burn our way on in here towards the station. We're going to go in at, I mean, that's 2.8 kilometers right now, allegedly, but I'm going to go in at like 5 meters per second, and let's see how close we end up getting. We're going to flip around to retrograde. I'm not really going to trust this so much, but let's just flip around to retrograde and then warp in a bit. Okay, so here we are at retrograde. Well, approximately at retrograde anyway, and we're going to warp in for just a moment here. Keep warping. Okay. So that's 2 kilometers there. Of course, the fact that this is in the shadow of Kerbal is potentially problematic for us. But we only need 2.7 meters per second. 2.6? We could continue to warp here, I think. And I'm going to do so. 2.5. Okay. I would love to get some sunlight here. And I think we are soon. But we should, at this point, we're getting further away. We need to head over to target retrograde and adjust this. So we're going to do exactly that. And we're about halfway through this shadow, so that should, in theory, be fine. We're going to kill that relative velocity, and we'll get a little bit closer here in a bit. Okay. We're going to burn some of our electric charge out over this way. I don't want to burn all of it, I don't think. But I do want to do a get closer burn. So that's 2.1 kilometers right there. And let's bring it in a wee bit closer. So we're going to burn towards target here. And let's just see what we can get done. That's 2 kilometers separate. Okay. That's 1 kilometer apart. I want to keep some electric charge in the tank for right now. So we're going to flip it back around. This is physics loaded at this time, I'm pretty sure. But I want to make sure that this happens, like, not in the shadow. That would be nice. So we're going to bring this back on around, and we're going to warp again. So that'll be fine. We are heading in at about 3 meters per second right now. It's not hugely efficient, but primarily the concern right now is power. So we're going to warp at about 50x. Okay, we have power now. So that is absolutely excellent. Let's go ahead and get positioned for our braking burn. We can obviously see that this is not exactly where we want to be. This asteroid has a ton of resources on it. Well, technically almost 20 tons of resources. But yeah, it's a lot. So we're going to want to kill this momentum here. Down to 2 meters per second. There we go. And we'll point at the target. We do still have 162 meters per second of delta V here, so this should be more than enough to get in there. And we don't exactly want to burn at this location here, but we can adjust that on a future maneuver. For now, I just want to make our way in. We're close enough that we're not hugely drifting off right away, which is always nice. We're drifting a little bit, but not a huge amount. So we're going to head in at this point at a very minor amount. So around... That'll do. That's starting to miss at that point. So we'll get flipped around again. Again, we cannot physics warp while this thing is physics loaded. We know that's definitely a no-no. So we're going to head on in. We are moving in once again at 3 meters per second. And we're going to miss a little bit. We know that. We're going to be 200 meters out, which is fine. Once we get positioned here, we will warp a wee bit. We've got plenty of electric charge. No problem there right now. Xenon gas is a bit lower, but I think we'll be fine. Okay, let's go ahead and warp in a bit. And are we going to park right up over here? Are we actually going to nail this? This is looking good. It may not be perfect. We may not be quite high enough. But overall, that looks great. Cool. So we're going to come on in over this way. We are going to, of course, need to kill our relative velocity soon. Okay. Right. Well, not quite yet. About now-ish. I'm going to wait a little longer. About a little longer. About now. Okay. So get that relative velocity killed. Cool. Now I'm going to switch over here and make sure that this guy... Oh, we didn't get all of these put back. Oh, they're just not at their desired angles. Okay. Yeah, they're just choosing not to be there. Whoa! That's also not at the desired traverse rate, I feel like. Okay. So we've got this nonsense going on here. where these guys are just not doing what they're supposed to. They're just not trying to hold to their desired points. Like, at all. Cool. Can we not? Like, this is how we get a physics Kraken, right here. Because these are just not trying to hold their positions. Yeah, that's a problem. I'm going to try going back to the Space Center and reloading this. But I don't know why it does this. Why it just is like, you know what? I want these things to just flop loose and just ignore all of the settings, including the speed. It's very strange. I don't know why it does that. It feels like it's a bug, but I can't really explain it. Okay, so the mining ring station will go ahead and fly. I don't expect this to fix it, to be clear. Previously, when I've done this, it's not fixable, and we actually had to revert back to a previous save to get this to... Okay, yep, that's just full-on Krakening a bit. Exciting. Is it trying to go back to the set positions here? I think that's what it's doing. I think we're good. I think it did reset. Yeah, everything is going back to their set positions. Let's just turn SAS on here real quick. Just to try to slow that down a bit. Actually, let's just time warp a bit. Okay. I think that did actually do the trick. We'll extend this guy out. That is armed. Cool. And we'll swap over here now. And we need to point towards target. We want to intercept this guy. So we're going to get turned around and point at this target. Just looking at how this is sitting right now. I mean, it's not great. I would prefer us to be a bit equatorial. But we could turn the SAS on, I suppose, and try to hold this. But I think I'm just going to leave it off for the moment. Okay, we're going to burn in here at about 1 meter per second. 8, 9, and 1. Okay. Just enough to be able to flip around to retrograde. Obviously, we're not going to physics warp. But we're just going to get flipped around here because we're going to need to go a little bit up, I think. Pretty sure that's what we're going to need here. So we're going to have to kill this momentum as we get a little closer, but that's fine. Okay. So we get flipped around to target retrograde. This is only 1 meter per second that we're going to have to kill here. But I think we've got this under control at this point. We're going to warp in a little bit here. Okay. This is looking good. I'm going to let this drift in slightly closer. And we're going to kill this relative speed soon. Right about now. And now the idea is we just turn the asteroid into the arm. And then we can push into the arm if we need to. Just based on the center of mass, that may or may not be... I think it will be necessary as we turn here. Cool. So we'll get the arm grabbed on here. It doesn't have to be on the center of mass. It just has to be, you know, close enough. Okay. Let's just hold here for the moment. And we're going to need to turn, I think, up a little bit. I'm just not sure what direction is what right now. Okay. That's awkward, to be sure. Let's hold here and go this direction. Okay. Just towards target is actually probably good enough, but I would like to be a little bit not that way. That's for sure. A little bit up from here. But up is a relative term that doesn't mean much. So in this case, it's actually yawing to the right. Perfect. Okay. We'll hold here and start to head in. Okay. At about 0.5 meters per second. And this will grab on quite soon. There. That should do. And we're grabbed. Beautiful. Next, of course, we're going to fold this hinge out. Apparently this hinge is inside of here now. That's interesting. But we're going to fold that to be 15 degrees. And then this one to be 30 degrees, as we have been. And then this one to be 90 degrees. Apparently we're overshooting very heavily. But that's fine. We will recover this in a moment. I hope. Can we not overshoot this quite so hard? Thanks. Okay, we'll arm this guy. And then we'll extend this as we swing back in, and this should stabilize the whole thing. Of course, we'll need to do the same for this guy, but... Okay, we're going to swing back in a moment here. And let's go in for the grab. That's only mildly awkward. Maybe on the backswing. Okay. Let's go in for the grab. No. We're just going to need to change this a little bit. Wait, are we grabbed here? We are. Release that. Oh, hey! That worked. Okay. That's one way to do things. So we're going to bring this one in, and we're going to bring this one in as well. This is about the same size of asteroid, so something kind of like this. Now we're going to have the same thing happening here, obviously. We're going to bring this up to be 90 degrees. I think we might be grabbed right now. Which is, there, we just grabbed. Okay, so that should solidify us here. Not awkward at all. I'm going to push this out a little bit here, just because this is definitely not correct in terms of the angling. So we'll just push that out to hold around here. Okay. And now we will stabilize this. I'm not sure what was going on there, but that's exciting stuff. It looks like this whole thing has moved a little bit. Hopefully that won't cause any problems in the future. But we're going to bend our miners out. I don't think for this size of asteroid we need to use our further miners, but we'll take a look at that. Bring this out to 90 degrees. It might need to be a little bit further than 90 degrees looking at this. Maybe to like 100 degrees. That actually looks pretty good. So we're going to bring that to 100 degrees there. Cool. And then we will extend this on out to be somewhere around 0.55. Looks good, I think. Maybe a little longer than that. Around 1.0. 1.13? Sure. Yeah, that'll... maybe all the way, actually. Yeah, that looks reasonably fine. We can always retract the asteroid a little closer in here if we needed to. We'll go ahead and deploy these drills. There we go. And the question is, how long will it take to actually mine out this ore? This is quite a lot more ore. So we'll see how long that ends up taking. But we'll activate these drills as soon as they are ready to go. There we go. And how are we doing? I mean, we're mining it reasonably quickly, but it's not tremendously quickly. I mean, it is pretty quick. There's no doubt about that. So we're getting ourselves some nice ore here. We should have plenty of space for this asteroid. I'm not concerned about that. We'll get that all mined up. I think a problem that we might have here is that this extension is much lower than these others, which are both maxed. Let's push that out. Okay. That should be a little bit better. Yes, we could have brought in these mining arms, but I really don't think we need to. Like, this is dropping very quickly. Let's bring it up to 5x time warp, and it's going to be done very shortly here. Nine more tons of resources here. Looking at this, actually, our ore tank did fill up. So right now, this is only dropping as we convert it over here with the Convertatron. So that's fantastic. Yeah, that seems reasonably great. So we're full on ore for the moment. And we do want to get this finished up. But let's just go ahead and time warp here for a bit. Keeping an eye on our resources overall. There we go. Only got about 2 tons of ore left on this asteroid. And 1 ton left. And there we go. The asteroid is mined out. So we are going to put away our mining arms here. We'll retract the radiators first. And then retract our drills. Not that one. We need this one here. There we go. And we'll get these guys no longer extended. And we'll just get our drills put away. Fantastic. Okay, so our next thing that we need to do is get rid of this asteroid. I'm probably just going to crash it into Kerbal, is, I think, the plan here. We're going to release this arm, and we'll disarm it as well. Unextend this. Boy, that really wants to swing up. Can we not? Let's get rid of that target angle, and this one as well. And this one as well. For some reason, that grabber is now crooked. I don't think it was before, but who knows? It's hard to say. We'll go ahead and release this grabbing unit next and disarm it. We will unextend that. And we'll bring this around, as well as this hinge. It'll take it a little bit of time to drift back into its desired position, but that's okay. And then we're going to release the asteroid once we're a little bit more clear. Okay, we'll release that and bring it on back. There we go. We've got a good amount of ore to process here, but the asteroid is, of course, going to need to drift free here. We hope that we don't impact it, but I think we're going to be okay. I think. Man, that twists a lot. Okay, we're good. As they bounce back, we will warp now to freeze that a bit and to get ourselves a bit of space. Okay, now we're going to flip around to retrograde. We're going to deorbit this guy into Kerbal if we've got enough delta V. I'm pretty sure we do. So that should be okay. Of course, we cannot physics warp this close to the station, otherwise krakens might ensue. But overall, it should be fine. So we're just going to go ahead and begin our reverse burn here. I do want to rotate ourselves a little bit here. Kind of like this-ish. Okay. What am I doing? We're burning the wrong way. We need to control from here. We're burning literally prograde. Fantastic. We'll get that turned around. I guess that gets us some distance from the station. That's something. But we're going to come back to the station as we burn retrograde here. We will want to make sure that that doesn't happen. Like, I don't want to hit the station here. So I'm going to actually toss in a little bit of normal burn here. Just so that we aren't going to hit the station when we start burning retrograde. There we go. Now we can flip around to retrograde, and we're definitely not going to hit the station. Sounds good. So our apoapsis is going to drop precipitously. Things should go much better for us once we unload the station here. We are still getting further away from the station, so that is absolutely excellent. Time to periapsis is dropping dramatically. And that's also fantastic. We do have a bit of a power issue, and we should rotate to get these solar panels a bit better. In future, we should probably get some longer solar panel extensions and the ability to bend them a bit. But for now, we want to get rotated over to about here so that all of our solar panels are maximally active. There we go. That allows us to get all of our engines running, even if not at peak efficiency. Okay, there's the station down there. It's still about 1 kilometer away, so we definitely can't physics warp yet. Because I believe that it is still physics loaded. But that is fine. We will be running out of xenon gas eventually. But for now, this seems to be reasonably okay. So we're going to bring this on in. We're down to 360k on the periapsis. Okay. That is still loaded. It will unload soon, and when it does, we will physics warp. And we've got a decent amount of burn time left here. Can definitely see that we're not burning at peak efficiency because we don't have the power. This is still loaded for the moment. And a lot of that is because we broke our solar panel, to be clear. This is now deloaded, and I'm okay with physics warping at this point. Cool. So our periapsis is coming on in, and we're mostly just looking to crash this into Kerbal and definitely not hit any urban centers. That would be, you know, ideal. But I'm going to bring this into like 40 kilometers. I wonder if we can land it. That would be wild. I highly doubt it. But there we go. We're going to do something like that. And, I mean, these solar panels are definitely going to burn off very early. We're just going to want to charge up our electric charge and warp until we are somewhere like here for right now. Oh, we're physics warping. Let's not physics warp. Let's go up over here. And then we're going to still be in orbital retrograde. So we'll flip it around. And yeah, we're going into the darkness here, so our electric charge is going to be very limited. I don't necessarily expect this thing to survive. In fact, it's kind of ideal if it doesn't. We just want to get rid of this asteroid. We do not need it anymore. We have harvested all of the resources out of it. Okay. Let's warp forward a bit here. Since we can't use the solar panels anyway, we might want to start our burn at like 100,000 kilometers. Is that the other asteroid? That might be the other asteroid. Hilarious. Okay. We should definitely begin our burn now. Just wanting to burn out what we can, which isn't a lot. We're limited by electric charge here. Okay. That's all the electric charge we've got. Surprisingly, we're still able... Well, we're actually drifting here. But I'd like to get around to prograde. That would be amazing. Let's go ahead and... Well, we can't retract that because we don't have any power, of course. Again, I don't expect any of this to survive. We're going to enter atmosphere now. And I'd like to get this pushed around to stabilize prograde. I don't know that it's going to do that. I expect that we're just going to tumble and this will burn off, but we'll see. That'll be real interesting. We're still accelerating, but I want to see how exactly this ends up going. Okay. This is almost ideal. I mean, our solar panels are going to go away very soon, right? We're going to start entering a pretty out-of-control tumble, but it looks like the rock is mostly going to be protecting us. But yeah, our solar panels are going to go away very soon. And that's completely fine. That's 100% expected. They are aerobraking us a little bit, so there's that. But yeah, overall, it's going to be the rock. The rock is our aerobraking strategy here. But we have no way to hold attitude or anything like that. this is probably just going to go away, and that's completely fine. I'm surprised that those solar panels are still holding up. They're going to go away now, though, for sure. Right? Huh. They're still there. Not for long, though. Definitely not for long. This is wild. There they go. Or something went. Yeah, that was a solar panel. Our other solar panels will go too. There goes one. And eventually the other will go. It's currently being shielded by the rock, but it'll go soon. Also shielded by the rock. I mean, we're decelerating quite a bit. I believe, I don't know what just burned off there, but something did. Yeah, the antenna goes away. That's fine. I mean, we don't care about any of this. We want this to burn up, ultimately. But, I mean, the rock will impact the ocean, I think. Ultimately. Which is fine. Surprisingly, we're doing okay here. I'm going to physics warp. Just because I feel like the rest of this will actually survive. If we had retracted our solar panels, that might have been all fine. The rock is currently completely heat shielding us. It will impact the ocean very quickly, and it will definitely not... Whoa, okay, that's some physics warp jank going on there. It will definitely not create a tsunami. That's for sure. But yeah, look at this. That rock was a very effective heat shield. I like it. You know, we could detach this, although we can't because we don't have power. I mean, we're definitely going to be destroyed on impact, right? I'm 100% sure of that. Well, 45% sure of that. 300 meters per second. As of now. Atmosphere is getting to maximal thickness. Yeah, we're definitely going to be destroyed on impact, which is completely fine. That was the entire point. I was hoping a little bit that it would burn up in the atmosphere, but no such luck. Okay. Sploosh time. The rock survived. Does the rock float? No, the rock is just at the bottom of the ocean, I think. Okay, cool. We're still moving at like 15 meters per second right now. And the grabbing unit survived. Well, we'll go ahead and recover that. No, because we're still moving. I think we're sinking to the bottom of the ocean right now. Let's go ahead and physics warp here. How are we going to recover this from the bottom of the ocean, I wonder? There we are. We hit the bottom, and we recover it. What are we even going to get for that? Recovering an asteroid is kind of wild. But sure. I don't even know what resources we're going to get. The game is currently not responding, so I guess we'll see. Okay, there we go. Still loading. All we got was the advanced grabbing unit. Okay, good to know. Well, with that, it is well past time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to go get a much larger asteroid to mine. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, Sigma162, JJ Gamer, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.